Okay, we've been talking about the fact that we have multiple perspectives. There are lots of different ways that we can look at any particular thing that arises. And the way that we look at it, the perspective, the map, the understanding that we have, is going to help us to see what it is that's actually going on. The fact that we have multiple maps that we can choose from opens up for the possibility that we ought to pick the best map. What's the best map for a particular circumstance? A map is a tool. A map is a tool for making meaning of things. Now, which is the best tool, a screwdriver or a can opener? Depends on whether you're trying to drive a screw or whether you're trying to open a can. I have opened cans with screwdrivers, and I've driven screws with can openers. It really works best to pick the tool that fits the situation. So we get a choice of which map we're going to use to make sense of any particular circumstance. Now we're talking about maps in a kind of metaphorical or kind of a larger cognitive sense. But if we think of a map, an actual literal map, a paper map, they actually do still make those, I think. I have a really good map of Kansas City. It doesn't help me a bit for getting around St. Louis because it's not a map of the territory. So I can have a great map. This is a great way of looking at something, but it doesn't actually fit to this situation. Or I can have a really good map of St. Louis, but it's 20 years old and things have changed. And you can go on Google Maps and you can see that things are, you know, what was the date on this, because things have changed and they keep updating them, but it's always out of date because it's never quite current because things keep changing. And also the scale of the map. My map of St. Louis is not going to help me drive to Boston. Now, we kind of lose sight of all of this because with online mapping, we can adjust the scale. It's always reasonably up to date. We get to have the data that we want. But the use of the map depends upon how effective it is at telling me what it is that I need to know. Now, this is July of 2020. There are not any fairs happening this summer. But if I was going to go to the fair, I would want to have a map of the fair. It's going to show me. It's going to look in the paper. Okay, here's the map, or online. Here's where the entrances are. Here's where the main stage is. Here's when various acts are happening. So I'm going to look at the map and I'm going to say, okay, where am I? I'm going to find my place on the map. I'm going to figure out where it is that I might be. And it's going to give me some guidance about how I can get from where I am to where it is that I want to be. I mentioned my friend who's a Dharma teacher. He teaches Buddhism. Buddhism is a map that gives us an understanding of who we are. Where are we? What is the nature of the human condition? And what might be possible for me as a human? How could I more fully live my life? And what is it that I'm going to need to do in order to get from where I am to where it is that I might be? Okay? So that's a function of a good map. Now, for me, I grew up in a Christian community, and I'm much more familiar with Christian terms. And so I'm going to tend to choose a Christian map. Somebody who, even if they grew up around me, if they had a really bad experience with Christianity, they're probably going to pick a different map. They might become a Sufi or a Buddhist or a Hindu or Muslim, whatever, because they need a map that they can appropriate that's really going to feel like it fits them, it belongs to them. So we're making these different maps such that we can navigate the world that we experience. And we want to find the map that is the best one for us and for our circumstances. So I just invite you to remember there are lots of potential maps. You're picking the one that you're picking for a particular reason. Try to know why you're looking at things the way you're looking at it. And does this map actually help you solve the problem that you're confronting in your life? Does it actually help you decide how you're going to behave in a way that will move you towards what you need? That's what we're looking for. All right.